Money Mayweather. I wanted to punch Floyd in his face so bad. If he gave me an opportunity tomorrow, I'd do it. Okay? How can I say no?
One for years, Floyd Mayweather carved out a perfect 50-0 legacy, a monument to defensive genius and ring IQ. But in the shadows of that legacy is the story of Keith "One-Time" Thurman. There's a breaking point for every fighter, a moment when frustration turns into fury. For Thurman, this was more than a fight. It was an explosive accusation, and he was about to expose the truth, that Mayweather was actively running from the one man he knew was a real threat. Even today, years after his final professional bell, the Mayweather effect is undeniable. Legendary names from Manny Pacquiao to Roy Jones Jr. have entertained the idea of sharing a ring with him again.
Fight, come on. I mean, I ain't tripping. You ain't got to troll me. Come see me. That's who I am. I don't do talk well.
You think there's a possibility, Roy? Like, we might get this exhibition?
Ain't gonna be no exhibition. I want a real. Ain't no sense being an exhibition. What we gonna play for? We both fight for real. What we playing for? Wasn't no exhibition. We didn't make it real. Exhibition for people playing. We ain't playing.
It happened that way. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Even here, a fight with Floyd isn't just a fight. It's a cultural event, a lottery ticket known as the Mayweather payday. An entire generation of fighters has lined up hoping to be chosen for that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But being chosen was the key.
Mayweather's used to that, you know? It looked like Mayweather was trying to scuff up the Roy Jones Jr. They were beefing online for a little bit, right? Because Roy doesn't get Floyd no credit. He says he's not the greatest ever. He might be one of the richest ever, outside of Canelo Alvarez's new contract, $400 million. But you know, Floyd might be one of the richest ever, and one of the best of maybe his generation. But you know, not everybody is sold on TBE. Not everybody is sold on the best ever. And that's the way that Floyd has always perceived himself, with great respect.
And that's where the story of Keith "One-Time" Thurman begins, because while many were asking for a payday, Thurman was demanding a legacy fight. And he is now remembered as perhaps the ultimate what-if of Mayweather's career. He stands as the prime example of a fighter who was allegedly denied his shot, a casualty of Floyd's infamous pick-and-choose strategy. At the peak of his powers, Thurman was an undefeated power-punching champion, the most dangerous puzzle in the division. And according to him, that's precisely why the puzzle was never solved.
Mayweather. I wanted to punch Floyd in his face so bad. If he gave me an opportunity tomorrow, I'd do it. Okay? How can I say no? I always wanted to punch that man in the face. You know? That's actually why I never shook his hand. Never shook his hand, because my satisfaction isn't in meeting you. It's in, you know, having the fight. And after the fight, we can shake hands. After the fight, I can give Floyd all the respect. I never got the fight, never gave him any real respect. You know what I mean? I actually do respect Floyd, but face to face, I could never give him respect because he never put respect on my
Did he ever ask you, hey Keith, why you talk to me? Why you don't? Did Floyd ever approach you and ask?
Nah, we just was in the lobby one time at the Intercontinental here, and he actually walked up to me, and you know, he was cordial. He was cool and everything, but then we were just getting to talking, and it just, you know, it is what it is. You know, he had
Welterweight division in the early 2000s was Floyd Mayweather's kingdom. He was the undisputed pay-per-view king, the final boss that every ambitious fighter dreamed of facing. But while Mayweather was collecting 9-figure paychecks against established names, a storm was brewing in Florida. That storm had a name.
You know, I've titled myself a knockout artist ever since I was 14 years old, and I was knocking out grown men with 16-ounce gloves and headgears, you know. So I tell people, ever since then, I've been dropping people like a bad habit, you know. I love being a power puncher. My first favorite fighter of all time was Mike Tyson. It was my goal to have more knockouts than Mike Tyson in my professional career. You know, it's just, you know, just little goals. Yeah, as a kid growing up. So I started off holding it down with 8 consecutive first round KOs and TKOs here at the Alucard Pavilion out in Tampa, Florida. And It took me 8 knockouts before I chose to give myself a nickname. And it was because all of those knockouts occurred in the first round, and because of the devastating power, and because of the story that my father once told me, that I chose to take upon the name Keith one time.
Keith Thurman, nicknamed one time for his devastating one-punch knockout power. Thurman was a terrifying blend of raw strength, speed, and genuine boxing skill. He wasn't just winning. He was demolishing his opponents, climbing the ranks with a hunger that was impossible to ignore.
Things y'all don't agree with that I say, I assure you, up until, and y'all know Keith got gas issues, but until that gas tank start to run on E, he's a good fight against anybody.
Come on,
You
man.
don't want to hear it.
No. If you think about Keith was the guy, man.
Yeah.
Keith just ain't fighting. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think just the rust and everything's catching up with Keith.
Yeah.
Hey, supposedly we might get Keith this year.
About before the end of the year.
Is you heard that's confirmed?
I mean, I talk to my boy every now and then.
Okay, shout out to Keith Thurman.
By 2014, with an unblemished record, Thurman wasn't just a contender anymore. He was a problem. He saw Mayweather not as an idol to be worshipped, but as a target to be conquered. And unlike so many others who waited for a golden ticket, Thurman decided he would be the one who was going to destroy that undefeated record. What happened next would send shockwaves through the sport. Keith Thurman didn't just want the fight, he demanded it. In a series of fiery interviews throughout 2014 and 2015, he laid down the gauntlet with a level of confidence that bordered on disrespect.
That's right, baby. You know, Floyd is supposed to be TBE, and I want to fight the best. I want to fight the man. You know, it ain't like Floyd's gonna knock me out. When has Floyd knocked anybody out in the past several years? Huh? So if anybody should be scared, it should be him. If anything I'm gonna get a great learning experience in my career. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to destroying Mr. Floyd Money Mayweather. I have a motto. This is my personal motto. It's called burn money. Burn money. 2015, we getting ready to burn money.
While others spoke of Mayweather in hushed, reverent tones, Thurman spoke to him directly through the cameras. "Do you want to fight?" he challenged. "Be honest with me. If you're going to leave me alone, just let me know you're going to leave me alone."
You know, I'm a young, strong champion, Floyd. Come get it. I'm undefeated like you, baby. Come take my O, baby. Come take my O. I'm ready. I'm ready. We'll go back to camp right now. We'll go right back to camp, baby. You see my six-pack? I'm going to go run laps tomorrow. It is what it is, man. Outside of Floyd, there's a lot of great champions in the welterweight division, and they know who to call. His name is Al Heyman. Call Al Heyman, baby. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to other opportunities. I beat this fighter, I could beat any fighter.
He wasn't asking for a payday. He was demanding a fight for supremacy. The tension reached a fever pitch when Thurman declared, "If anybody should be scared, it's him." The boxing world was captivated. Here was an undefeated power-punching champion in his prime, publicly accusing the pound-for-pound king of running scared. Thurman even criticized Mayweather's choice of opponents like Andre Berto, framing them as safe, calculated moves to avoid a real challenge. But these public call-outs were only the visible part of the story. This is where the story takes an unexpected turn into the world of boxing politics. As Thurman continued his relentless pursuit, he detailed a stunning sequence of events that laid his claim of being ducked bare for all to see.